Alright guys, so over the last couple days I've gotten the trans pulled out of the car here. It's just sitting on the ground there. Haven't got it pulled out of underneath yet, but as you just saw, the engine set on the stand here so that it's out of the way, not just hanging there and falling on the ground every day. Idea now is to get the engine ready to sell. We need to get the injectors out of there and put the stock ones back in. Get the downpipe and headers off as well. Not sure if I'm gonna bolt the stock ones back on yet or not. Probably gonna start to clean out the engine bay, get a couple of things out. I also picked up some tires for a good deal the other day. We got some 595 RSRs. They're 265 35s. Whatever wheels we end up getting for the car, obviously are gonna be 18s. So hopefully that'll give us a little bit of grip for now. Alright, so we got both the injectors out on this side real quick, so we're going to throw in the stock ones and then move on to the other side. So luckily I saved all my stock injectors here in this little baggie when I did all the power mods, so still got those to throw back in there, so I'm going to throw these in there real quick, and yeah, we'll move on to the next side. Alright, we got that side out, so now I just got to put in the old ones. Cool, got the old injectors in. Now we just gotta throw this little metal piece back on so we can get the ground for the engine good. And that should be pretty much it. Now when you go to put these TGVs back on, these do auto figure out where they are, so it doesn't matter which way you put it on, as long as it's on correctly, obviously. It'll figure out where the gear needs to be for the actual butterflies inside the TGV. Alright, we got the engine flipped around. Let's zip all these 14s loose real quick and get the up pipe off the engine. There we go, got the downpipe off. Now we'll drain the oil, get the headers off. Alright, let's see how good my aim is. Sweet, yeah, we got the old injectors back in. The headers and up pipe are both off now. Sitting on the floor over there. So it seems pretty much ready to go. Now let's get working on pulling out everything in the engine bay, getting everything stripped. Alright, so I got the fuse box taken apart here. Basically it's just a bunch of these little clips right here and everything slides out. I'm going to try and tuck everything down here. Eventually I'm going to figure out a way to mount it in the wheel well there so that it's tucked and out of the way so that the bay looks nice and clean. But for now we're just going to get it down where it's out of the way. Alright, we got the ABS pump out of here now. I just need to grab a line wrench for these fittings from work one day. They're trying to strip out. I don't know if it'll focus on them, but they're trying to strip out, so don't want to risk messing anything up because I actually do need these two rear lines. This front stuff is all going to get redone when I do the Brembos I have for it, so that'll all get redone, especially once we get the new master cylinder on there and get rid of that brake booster. So now that that's done, we basically already got all this out. It'll come with the subframe as I drop it down. So now we just need to figure out how to get this little piece out of here so I can get rid of that wiring harness, and then we can probably either work on pulling the subframe out or getting the fuse box mounting figured out. But I'm probably going to pull the fenders off before I do that, just so I have a little bit more room. I don't have to worry about scuffing them up or scratching because the fender covers here keep sliding off and the tape's just not going to protect much other than just the edge. So yeah, we're going to keep going on it and see what we can get done. What's going on, guys? We're back here. It's a new day. This video's got quite a few days in it, so I'm just going to try and do like a week's worth of work probably in each video, or a couple weeks worth. Anyway, from when I last saw you, got a couple things done here. Alright, so starting here in the engine bay, we did get the ABS unit out. I kind of cleaned everything and wiped it all down. Still got to get that back part there, but we're gonna probably wait till I get this brake booster out of the way. So yeah, goal for today is probably going to be to get this subframe out of here, possibly get the brake booster out of here, and then while we're at it, we're going to get these Brembo calipers here that I have. These are off of a Cadillac ATS V. So we're going to get these sanded up and then painted silver, and I've got some new stickers for them so that we can get them on the car soon. Should be a good upgrade here, going to a 4-piston Brembo from the stock 1-piston brake. Hopefully should help me stop a little bit with some of the extra power we're going to be making. So let's get these sanded up and get a little bit of paint on them so that we can start working on pulling the subframe. So I just remembered that I do have this little wire wheel here, so we're going to try and hit some areas with that. I've seen a lot of people do that when sanding rotors, and hopefully it'll make it a little bit easier, because with the sandpaper it's definitely going to take a long time. Alright, we got the calipers all taped up here, as you can see. So I'm just going to hit them with some brake clean real quick, make sure they're all degreased, and then we're going to hit them with a coat of paint. Alright, so we got the bottom side of these painted. Looks pretty good right now. So once those are drying, or while those are drying, we're going to work on getting the subframe out of the car here. When I pulled the axles, obviously I had to pull all this. So basically all that's left, I'm going to hang the calipers and then pretty much just unbolt the subframe. I've already got the bolts out of the steering rack, so it should be able to just drop right down. So let's get these calipers hung, and then we'll get the subframe out, and then we'll get these last two brake lines out of here, and then work on the brake booster. Hard with one hand. There we go. Usually you don't want to hang your calipers from the rubber line here, but with the new calipers I'm getting stainless steel lines, so these are basically trash anyway. So that's why I'm going to hang it like that for now. Plus I'm probably going to take them out here in a few minutes once we get these brake lines off. Alright, next side here. Already broke the bolts loose. Zip them out. Yank it off. There we go. So now we have two free hanging brake calipers. Should just have to take out the couple bolts here for the back of the control arms, and then I think there's two bolts here. So we'll get those out. I'll put a jack under it, lower down the subframe, and then we can drag the trans out from underneath, because then we'll have room. And then we should just have a pretty big hole we can start working on getting everything cleaned up, making panels to fill stuff in so that it can be like a semi-shaved bay. I don't exactly have the skills to do anything crazy, but I'm definitely going to try my best to make it as clean as possible, figure out a welder situation, and hopefully get this bay looking super nice and clean. Definitely going to have a lot of stuff, especially once we get that brake cleaner out, or brake booster out. We're going to make sure we clean everything up behind there and make it look nice and clean for now, and then we'll get to painting it later. Alright, subframe is out. Didn't quite go as smooth as we'd like, but everything's out of it. We're gonna have to take this off to get the LS power steering pump to work for it, and then we'll have to pull the steering rack out of it. The sway bar and the control arms here are also gonna come off. So we got those out. Might get a new set of control arms. We need to put in a bump steer correction kit and roll center for the new subframe, because it lowers it like 3 inches I think. But this one's out now and got a lot more room to mess around with in here. I'm gonna try and drag the trans out real quick and pick up a little bit, and then I'll move on to the next thing. Alright guys, so it's been a minute here. I didn't really record a couple things just because I got busy. I got the subframe here. Obviously I pulled out the control arms and the knuckles. My friend just so happened to be parting out his car, and he had this set of like alloy control arms, which look a lot nicer. So I'm going to clean those up with the wire wheel, make them shiny again, and then that'll just kind of go a little bit better with the new subframe. But we got all that off. Just got to pull the steering rack out of it and the sway bar when I get a chance. But for now, smacked my thumb pretty good when I was taking it apart. If it would focus, but yeah. So I've been moving pretty slow, but we did get the Brembos here done. Got them all finished, painted silver. Luckily that paint dries really fast, and it's also like 100 degrees out today, so it made it dry a little bit faster. And then got some high temp Brembo stickers on there for that. And then whenever it's time I got the rear ones there for if I can find a set of rear Brembos for it. But these are all set. I think they look great. They came out pretty good. I didn't worry about the inside or anything right now because you're not going to see it, but those should look great. I got some pads for them and a new hardware kit, so hopefully soon I'll get the stuff to put them onto the knuckles, and then we can get those on there. And then once the subframe gets back from powder coating, we'll have a nice looking subframe with some big fancy Brembo brakes on it. So probably done for the day. My thumb's hurting pretty bad, so it's kind of hard to work with one hand. So probably gonna be done for the day. Throughout the week we'll try and get the brake booster out and get everything cleaned up in here. But yeah, figure I'll end the video here just so you guys get a video this week, and then we'll keep cooking along and get the rest of it done. Hopefully get some more progress on the engine bay, making it look nice throughout the next couple, I don't know, weeks, days. We'll see where we're at, but for now I think we've made quite a good bit of progress here on the engine bay. It's looking pretty empty, which is a good thing, so it means we can start filling it up soon. So now that we got the Brembos done, hopefully we can get the suspension back together as soon as the subframe comes in. That's going to be the next biggest step, is just getting that subframe, so that's probably when I'll start recording next. I'll probably get the brake booster out. That's not that big of a job, so I'll pull that out and then get the subframe in, send it off to powder coat. When I get that back, I'll start making more videos for you guys, getting the engine bay ready. Probably work a little bit on shaving everything and getting the fuse box put in while we wait for the subframe. But other than that, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you.